안녕하세요. 저 조선일보 워싱턴 리퍼 강인선입니다. 제가 지금 워싱턴에서 여러분들이 어쩌면 가장 만나고 싶어할 미국 사람을 지금 모시고 왔어요. 누구냐면 마크 리퍼트 전 주한미국 대사입니다. 안녕하세요, 대사님.
안녕하십니까. 네.
대사님 서울에서 굉장히 재미있게 지내셨다고요.
재미있는 이야기 너무 많아요.
Yeah. What's the funniest part?
It's a culture shock. Culture shock
네,
stories.
네, 네. Yeah.
So, for example, every gym, like I used to work out in a
Yeah.
little gym
In Korea, we call that health club.
Yeah, health club, same thing, health club.
Right.
But health club, their bathrooms were little mini gymжил방s. Right?
찜질방.
Gymжил방, 맞아요.
Yeah.
In the locker rooms, it was so strange to me. Everybody was naked all
Really?
the time. Yeah. And Koreans, in the U.S., you're in the locker room, you cover up.
Okay.
You wear a big towel, right? Koreans always naked. And the second thing that's funny is they give you a towel to cover up, and it's tiny. It's a hand towel. So that was a very funny story. Every time I would go work out, I would always have that culture shock, and I never quite got used to it.
So what did you do with that small hand towel?
I did my best to cover up, and I started bringing my own towel. Too.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah. But then the Koreans thought I was weird for bringing my own towel.
I
So,
see.
so there was that. One other funny story about the American ambassador's limo, right?
Okay, yeah,
The
the black car.
The black car. The windows don't roll down, right?
Oh, really? I
Yeah,
didn't know
they
that.
don't roll down. So, you are trapped with the odor in the car.
Okay.
And normally, no problem. The driver, bodyguards, myself, we take showers, we smell nice,
Okay.
except after we would eat Korean food.
Okay.
And we would be trapped inside the car, all three of us,
Yeah.
all smelling
Smells.
like
Yeah.
garlic and all this great Korean food. And sometimes I said, we just have to stop and get some air in here.
Really?
So,
So, and have you ever worried about the possibility of having anti-American government in South Korea?
well, look, what I've always said about anti-American sentiment is that the debate in South Korea over the past 8 to 10 years, the discussion has changed dramatically. The U.S. In South Korea is incredibly popular in a way it wasn't 10 or 15 years ago. Second, the nature of discourse about the alliance is orders of magnitude more productive and constructive than it was a decade ago, right? So I worry much less about anti-Americanism than I would have 10 or 15 years ago. And I do think the alliance is very strong, very robust, and you've got a slate of good candidates out there. The overwhelming number of them are strong, pro-American, pro-alliance candidates.
Now we have a new president in the States, and we will have a new president in South Korea soon. And with these two new presidents, do you think the nature of alliance can be changed?
Well, the alliance should change. Change is part of keeping the alliance modern and strong. It's how you change that's important, right?
Yeah.
It's the nature of that discourse. And so I think that's why when there is a new president in South Korea, there should be an early summit. The two leaders should get to know each other personally. I'm very encouraged that Secretary of State Tillerson will be out in the region this week. I'm very encouraged that other senior leaders have been in the region, like Secretary Mattis, and others will be coming soon.
Yeah.
So I think that's very, very good news. But again, I think there's nothing like having a summit to make sure that the leaders can talk at the leader level, can work to come up with a common understanding of where the alliance needs to go, and again, work to effectuate the safety, security, peace, and prosperity of both the Korean people and the American people.
How important is the summit for the relationship between two countries?
Well, what I would say is that it's important. I don't want to overstate its importance, but I don't want to understate it either. What I would say is that the good news is the alliance is very strong in terms of the mechanisms that have been put in place over the past decade especially. There are strong conversations going on at all sorts of levels in the government, I would also add that our people-to-people contacts have expanded dramatically over the past several years. And I think that tether is very
Right,
important.
yeah.
So you have a strong foundation. But again, there is nothing that replaces when the two leaders can sit down and talk. It just helps, it just encourages, and it helps give clear direction and guidance. So I would say it is important.
It doesn't seem to me that Trump administration is very interested in Asia because they don't have that many Asian experts in their government and high levels. Does it affect the policy to South Korea?
Well, what I would say is this, the jury's still out on how much emphasis the Trump administration will put on Asia. There's a number of policy reviews going on. And to your question about Asia experts, remember, many of these jobs have not been filled yet.
No.
So that's a separate issue. But so I think that remains to be seen. But what I would say is that you have seen early trips by Secretary Mattis, a trip right now by Secretary Tillerson. Those are good things, and those are very early trips. So I think it does show that there is an interest in Korea, there is an interest in the alliances, then there is at least some interest in Asia. But again, we are less than 100 days into this administration.
Right,
Secretary Tillerson has been on the job just a few weeks, and we've really got to give it some time to see where the direction goes.
Who do you think is going to be your successor?
I have no idea, but I would say that it's a great job.
Okay.
It's a great job. It's a great job because the alliance is important. The policy is important. The living in Korea is great.
Did you enjoy Korean food?
Oh, it's awesome. It is so great. So
What is your favorite Korean food?
요즘 순두부.
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 Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
제일 좋아하는 한국 음식입니다.
추울 때, 겨울에.
Yeah, 겨울에. I think 겨울.
겨울에.
Yeah, 겨울에. Yeah, but 둘 다 아주
Okay.
맛있어요.
How about 갈비?
Yeah, kalbi, I love, and that's another story. You know, you eat galbi or Korean barbecue, and you have 8 servings. All this galbi. You know, you have 2 types of meat.
Right.
All the banchan. You know, all the alcohol.
Vegetables.
You're drinking all of this, right? It's a lot of food. It's delicious.
Yeah.
And then you think you're done with the meal, but no, a giant bowl of noodles comes out, and you have to eat that too. Naengmyeon.
냉면.
Yeah, naengmyeon. And so I don't understand how Koreans are so skinny.
With all the food.
You eat all this food and drink and have a great time, and are some of the skinniest, most in shape people in the world.
So did you gain weight while you were there?
I gained about 10 pounds.
Oh,
Since
a lot.
yes, I gained a lot of weight.
Really?
I worked out every day. I would say 5 to 7 times a week.
Okay.
So there really is no job like it, and other than to say, whenever that person is named, I wish him or her the best of luck, and am very jealous at the opportunity that they will get to go forward.
Okay, thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
your insights and interesting thoughts.
Thank you.